Okay, now slide number 2. The heading is technical writing and its elements. पहले तो हम ये देखेंगे कि टेक्निकल राइटिंग जो है वो किन चीज़ों के लिए की जाती है. The first thing that we will have to look at is what are the entities or elements for which technical report writing is done. So there is a list given over here. There are 4 things which actually require technical report writing. The first one is a journal paper. It is actually a manuscript that you write and submit to a technical journal, engineering related, either communication or power. The second entity for which you can write a technical report is your thesis, and that thesis is going to be comprised of different elements, and it is actually a technical report, and this thesis is actually written for the understanding of whatever project that you have done and completed. The third one is a dissertation. There is no difference between a thesis and a dissertation. Both of them are written in order to highlight in text form whatever you have done in your project. Either it can be your final year project, it can be your MSc project, or it can be your PhD project that you can actually write a thesis for or a dissertation for. The fourth entity is report, for which you will have to actually do technical writing. Report means reporting something, means you have observed something, and after that observation you have actually written a report about that observation. But that report must be technically sound and understandable to the people working in your field. So it becomes pretty easy to make the people working in your field to understand whatever you have written. If you have written either your journal paper, your thesis, your dissertation, or your report regarding something or some project in a technical manner, so it becomes pretty easy for them to understand. Now on slide number 2 we have elements of a technical report. Whenever you are writing a technical report about any observation, any experimentation that you have done, or any phenomenon that you have studied, so when you are writing a technical report for it, it will consist of the listed elements. Every technical report must have an understandable and concise title, and that title must be technically sound and understandable to the reader. After the title, your report must have an abstract. An abstract is known as an executive summary. As you already know that an executive position is actually a top position, so this summary or abstract that you will be including in your technical report will actually be placed at the top of your report. That's why it is known as an executive summary. The third element of your technical report must be an introduction to whatever experimentation you have done or the field in which you have observed a phenomena. So you will have to introduce that. The fourth element is theory and analysis. So whatever phenomena or experimentation that you have performed in your project will be based upon a certain theory and certain analysis of different aspects. So you will have to include that theory and analysis in your technical report. After that, whatever methodology that you have used in order to solve a problem technically, that experimental procedure must also be a part of your technical report. After you get your results from your experimental procedures, from your prototypes, or even from your observation, those results are included in your technical report. They are part of your technical report, and then you will have to actually discuss them. So if the results are positive, you will have to discuss the reasons because of which those results are positive. If the results are negative, you will have to actually discuss those reasons as well and include them in your technical report. At the end of your technical report, another element is included which is known as conclusion or conclusions. So whatever experimental platforms that you have used and experiments you have performed, whatever results and discussions are there, or results or discussions came out of those experimentations or observations, you will have to actually include a section of conclusion in your technical report, and it is going to be a small section, and it is going to be a summary of whatever you have observed through the results that you have gotten from your experimental procedures. The next element that you will have to include in your technical report is known as acknowledgements. So in the research that you have done or the experimentation that you have done, if an organization or an individual has helped you technically or through funding, you will have to acknowledge them in your technical report. The next element that you will have to include in your technical report is known as references. And in your introduction and theory and analysis section, whatever case that you have prepared for your experimentation and your results must include references from people who have actually worked in that field before you, and those references must be included in order to prepare your case. So if the references are properly cited in the text and also given at the end of your technical report, it actually gives a very good look and also justification to whatever experimental procedures you have carried out. At the end of your report, if let's suppose you do not want to include a certain report written by someone else in your introduction or theory and analysis section, so you can just give a reference of that report which is, let's suppose, 100 pages long, and you don't want to include the whole report in your technical report. So you just give a certain reference of that report in your theory and analysis or introduction section and include that whole report as appendix at the end of your technical report. So these are the elements in this manner. The title must come first, abstract second, introduction third, theory and analysis fourth, experimental procedures fifth, results and discussions sixth, conclusions at seventh position, acknowledgements at eighth, references at 9th and